Priya's marriage was arranged by their parents, a common practice in their small, close-knit town. Rohan, a pragmatic and reserved man, worked as a mid-level manager in a local company. Priya, on the other hand, was a dreamer, an artist who found solace in painting and sketching. She was free-spirited and emotional, traits that often clashed with Rohan's practical and stoic nature. Their families had known each other for years and believed the two would make a perfect match. Rohan and Priya, however, had never shared more than a few polite conversations before their wedding. When the day arrived, they exchanged vows with smiles that didn't quite reach their eyes, bound by duty rather than love. After the wedding, Rohan and Priya moved into a modest home. The house, though well furnished, felt empty. Their days were filled with silence, broken only by the occasional exchange of necessary words. Rohan would leave for work early in the morning, and Priya would spend her days painting, losing herself in her art to escape the loneliness. Despite their differences, they respected each other. Priya admired Rohan's dedication to his work, and Rohan appreciated Priya's creativity, though he rarely expressed it. Yet there was an unspoken tension between them, a wall built of unmet expectations and unspoken desires. At work, Rohan found himself drawn to Anaya, a lively and ambitious colleague. Anaya was everything Priya wasn't: outgoing, talkative, and full of energy. She had a way of making everyone around her feel at ease, and Rohan was no exception. They began spending more time together, sharing lunches, working on projects, and even staying late at the office. Anaya's laughter became a bright spot in Rohan's otherwise monotonous days. Over time, Rohan realized he was developing feelings for Anaya. She was kind, understanding, and seemed to genuinely care about him. But Anaya, unaware of Rohan's growing affection, saw him only as a friend and a reliable co-worker. Rohan, torn between his feelings for Anaya and his commitment to Priya, found himself in a moral dilemma. At home, Priya noticed the changes in Rohan. He seemed distracted, lost in thought, and often came home late. She didn't confront him, choosing instead to bury herself in her art. Her paintings became darker, reflecting the emptiness she felt in her marriage. She longed for connection, but didn't know how to bridge the gap between them. One evening, Rohan returned home later than usual. Priya was sitting by the window, sketching the moonlit sky. She glanced at him, but said nothing. The silence between them was heavy, filled with unspoken words and unresolved emotions. Rohan felt a pang of guilt as he looked at her. He knew he was neglecting her, but he didn't know how to fix what was broken. One day, Rohan overheard Anaya talking about her boyfriend. She was planning a weekend getaway with him, and her excitement was evident. Rohan's heart sank as he realized that his feelings for her were one-sided. He had been using his infatuation with Anaya as an escape from the challenges of his marriage. That evening, Rohan returned home with a heavy heart. He found Priya in the living room, working on a new painting. For the first time, he truly looked at her, not as his wife, but as a person. He noticed the way her eyes lit up when she focused on her art, the way her hands moved with precision and grace. He realized how much he had been ignoring her and how much she had been enduring in silence. Rohan decided to make an effort. He started coming home earlier, helping Priya with household chores, and even asking about her paintings. At first, Priya was skeptical, unsure of his intentions. But as days turned into weeks, she began to see a change in him. He was more present, more attentive, and even shared stories from his day at work. Priya, in turn, began to open up. She showed Rohan her paintings, explaining the emotions behind each stroke of the brush. Rohan, though not an artist, found himself fascinated by her creativity. They began to have real conversations, sharing their dreams, fears, and hopes for the future. Though their marriage had started without love, Rohan and Priya slowly began to build a connection. It wasn't easy. There were still moments of tension and misunderstandings, but they learned to navigate them together. Rohan realized that love wasn't just about passion or excitement. It was about understanding, patience, and effort. Priya, too, began to see Rohan in a new light. She appreciated his efforts to change and the way he supported her art. They discovered common ground in their shared values and dreams for the future. Rohan's infatuation with Anaya had been a wake-up call. It made him realize that he had been neglecting the person who mattered most, his wife. Priya, in turn, learned to let go of her resentment and give their marriage a chance. Their journey wasn't perfect, but it was real. They learned that love could grow even in the most unexpected places, as long as both were willing to nurture it. And so, Rohan and Priya began to write a new chapter in their lives, one built on understanding, respect, and the quiet promise of a shared future. This expanded version delves deeper into their emotions, struggles, and eventual growth, showing how love can evolve even in the most challenging circumstances. If you like the story and video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Narrate and learn for more heart-touching stories. And Muerte.